Another edition of Hustlers Kung Fu Live. We're going to chop it up this Sunday. The government's going to send out $3,000 cash. I anticipate unemployment to be 25 to 50%, and the global reset is real. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed that video that I released this morning. There's another one that's coming up tomorrow. Be sure that you're subscribed. Be sure to look for it. And also, for those of you who want to be participating in the YouTube course, another section is going to drop tomorrow. So be on that. Links below. And the critical mindset, of course, that I feel that everyone needs right now, because these are desperate times. The government is going to send out $3,000 per family. Right now, it's a one-time deal, but I feel that if this keeps going on, it keeps getting bad, that they're going to do it again. It's about time that the American people got bailed out. So we're going to talk about some stuff here today. Hold on a second. Come on. You can do it, baby. There you go. All right. So let's get into the stimulus package. I don't know why it does that. I've had a problem with that. When I switch to that, it just, some reason, cancels out the sound. It's kind of crazy. But I'm aware that that happens. So I didn't go crazy with it. And I was ready for it. But hold on a second. Let me go ahead. I don't know why it does that. Okay, here we go. All right, we're cooking with some gas here. The pandemic aid bill includes 3,000 for families, 4 trillion liquidity for Fed. 4 trillion. That's with a T, trillion. And I was just doing a lot of research today and looking at some stuff, because right now the government is in a situation where they have to do this, because if they don't do this, we're going to have sheer pandemonium in the streets. We're going to have people out there literally. I mean, folks are already fighting over TP. They're fighting over toilet paper in the Costco. Can you imagine what's going to happen when this thing starts to really roll? Because, first world problems. Today, I had all my meals at home because, one of my guilty pleasures is eating out, and that's pretty much gone. I could have did some takeout, but I just like getting out, being amongst people, and that's gone. So that was one, because, I work from home. And also for you guys, there's going to be a work from home video that's going to release in the morning. Be sure you subscribe. Be looking out for that. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, because I've worked at home for the last 10 years. So I'm the work at home king. But the money's coming. The money's coming, because the next thing that we're going to get into is this massive unemployment that's here. It's not coming. I fully expect today the unemployment rate in America is at about 20-25%. And one of the reasons I say this is because so many companies is laid off. I mean, when I'm starting to come across YouTubers, they're talking about my mom was laid off, my dad was laid off, my girlfriend, this one YouTuber, 3 people that he's really closely affiliated with, they've been laid off. And, Vegas, take Vegas, the strip. Most of the strip is laid off. They're not working. And I really fully expect that the numbers are going to come out because essentially they're being reserved. Well, this was written today. A reliable source for recession forecasting is the unemployment rate, which reveals signals for the beginning and ends of recessions. The February 2020 unemployment rate was 3.5%. If the March unemployment rate is 3.9, then a recession will be signaled according to the model. Okay, everyone is still trying to be really conservative and namby-pamby. There is no way that when literally a significant portion of the country has been laid off, that the unemployment is going to be that low. It's not going to move up to 1 or 2 million people. Virtually every virtually every Department of Labor, its website has crashed from all of these people filing for unemployment. And this is one of the reasons that the government is doing this stimulus package, because they know what the deal. The unemployment is massive. It's going to be more than 3.9%. And they're not. I think they're going to kind of hold back some of this data because it's going to be very, very scary. Because like I said, I personally believe, I have no stats or nothing. It's just crunching the numbers of Marriott laid off tens of thousands of people around the world. Boeing laid off people. Ford has shuttered its factories, and Ford has suspended their dividend. That this number is going to be much larger than what they're putting out in this article because everyone's trying to keep hope alive. And, this is something else. I want to go ahead and say this. Someone accused me of fear mongering, and if me telling you the truth, me telling you what's happening is fear mongering, fine, I'll own that because I don't think I'm fear mongering. I think telling adults the truth is the best policy because, once again, you guys have been following me for years. You could check my resume. How many times have I been wrong? I was wrong about oil prices. I thought oil would be more expensive, but oil crashed because of the fall. How many times have I been wrong? I wasn't wrong about Bitcoin. I wasn't wrong about this recession. How many times have I been wrong? Put that in the comments. And right now we have a bunch of fragile little children that want someone to pacify them and tell them fairy tales. This ain't a fairy tale. This is real business. This is real life. There ain't no fairy tale happening here. Right now, next week, the stock market's going to do the same thing it's done the last 2 weeks. It's going to be a roller coaster ride because we got people clinging to hope that this thing is just going to dissipate and we're going to get back to normal. And this is just a bad nightmare. This is a real disaster. This is real life crisis. This is not a model. This is not a role model. This is not a This is not a fantasy. This is real life. And so many people are in denial because it's like, well, we're in a recession right now because of the massive number of people who've been laid off and the reduction in output in the global economy. The global economy has been impacted. We've got people sitting at home. We're not putting out stuff. We're not making products. Factories have been shuttered. People have been laid off. We're in a recession right now. And many people are like, well, hopefully we can avoid this recession. Keep hope alive. I'm like, you don't understand this. We got people fighting over toilet tissue in Costco. We got people dying around the world. And, it's crazy when you look at what these people are doing. All right. Let's see. I know, Kevin Davis. This is what I'm talking about. DeVita, I've seen this coming 7 years ago. Short change. I don't think it's going to take months. I think these stimulus checks are going to come much quicker than that because they have to. What's up, Crab Junkie? Short change, that's crazy. Classic Rod, no, they haven't suppressed me at all. Actually, I've gotten more subscriber and more views recently than I have in the last few years, so I'm not being depressed. Gabby, no, the money's not doesn't have to be paid back. Why can't you believe I'm still eating out? Well, that ended today. I know, Patrick. Well, for some reason, Julie, it's weird because this has received a boost. Because normally I was limited at 150 on live streams, and the video I released this morning already has 2,500 views. Because this is one of the reasons I stopped making videos. Is like they would get like 1,000, 1,200 views, and it just stop. So something has happened. I don't know. Jay Fleming, that's crazy. A lady got stabbed. Hey, I've been working from home since 2009. Kevin, I agree with you. Eric, I know 5 YouTubers who joined the military. They left early this year. Good Lord. Really? Erica? The military? Man. Pittsburgh, gentlemen, you are such a nice person. I don't know why people are like going crazy and buying up everything, man. 260,000 workers in Las Vegas out of work. See, Rod, this is the thing. They're expecting like 1 million people. 260,000 people in Las Vegas. You could say 100,000 or more in Detroit. And then you could factor in probably another 500,000 of these hotel workers, of these airline employees, of I mean, we're going to get way past the numbers they're predicting. Oh, Cosmic Wisdom, that's part of this show. Grant Cardone laid off half of his workers. Yes, 10x Grant Cardone. Pretty much. Q4, because, yeah, I mean, our government's going to do like a Chinese government move of not putting out the real number. Well, certain shell, this is what I predict. If this thing goes on longer than a couple of months, they're going to issue out some more checks. They're going to have to. There will literally be rioting in the street. Bristol, Christopher Lies. That's where a lot of people are mad at China because China lied about this for months, and they didn't put out the real data until it became just a big problem. Tracy Stevens, yeah, like I said, how many times have I wrong? This whole stuff of fear mongering is for these fragile little baby people who don't want to deal with the truth because, like, the CNN did this show. All these kids who were on the beaches spring break, pretty much avoiding all of the social distancing rules, and they were just like, it ain't that bad. If we get it, we ain't gonna die. I mean, just crazy. Well, you've had to file taxes to get the stimulus check. Troy Glover, what do you think is going to be the final outcome from the hard global reset? China is no longer going to be the manufacturing hub of the world. All right, Kimberly Williams, Crap Junkie TV. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Jaws 2003. My understanding is they're going to go off of your recent tax filing. So if you filed your taxes, they're going to go off those are bank accounts and those addresses. Pretty much, Raymond Woman. King Cali, I don't think they're doing anything for small business. I don't think they're doing nothing. They're about to shut down refineries in Louisiana. Wow, that's deep. Someone about to use the Hellcat. That's funny. Yeah, for some reason, YouTube is actually starting to push my channel of late. LEF. All right, Trill Wallets. Mr. G, thank you for the $10 super chat. Your videos are truth sermon. They motivate the hell out of me. I'm glad to hear it. Oh man, the fear is real. Wow, people in the military, I think they're going to start deploying some people. Because these folks have gone crazy with the toilet paper, man. I'm just like, no store I went in, fortunately, for some reason, I just started buying these big bump, the family pack of toilet paper. And I was like, I was down to what I thought was one roll. Then I went to the pantry and I was like, oh man. So I'm good for about another month or so. And I was like, thank God I did that because these people have been insane buying toilet paper, paper towels like it's crack. It's the craziest thing. All right, Steven. In my city, the grocery stores say they sold a year's worth of chicken in 3 weeks. Wow. Water. Yeah, water's gone. Oh no, man. I'm very much aware of this. Yeah, it is wild because if you didn't know, Grant Cardone literally laid off half of his staff the other day. Meet Kevin. he he talked about it this morning. All right. Wow, a light. That's crazy. Wow. Joining the military. That's deep. All right, Godfrey. Well, meet Kevin is he's going hard on this. You can barter with toilet tissue. JB Well, thanks for the $20 super chat. Appreciate it. What's up, Billy Meister? Thanks for the $100 in Swedish money. I'm over here in Sweden working for the U.S. government as a contractor doing IT to companies and SBO. Hopefully they can hold up. All right, all right, all right. I don't know what it is with the internet that's just tripping. I'm gonna keep going because they should be good on the replay. Mm, 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 mm. I don't know what's going on with the stream. This is crazy. I may have to go down in the basement to. We're gonna keep going on. All right, so let's get back to. All right, and this is something else too. Right now, the dollar is super super strong, and this is creating a problem for the other currencies. Because right now, a lot of people are flooding to the US dollar as a safe haven asset. Right now, it's one of the craziest things that's happening because the dollar has been going up and down in value for a while, but now people are flocking to it and putting their money in the dollar. It is the craziest thing that's happening. But hold on, let's see. Can I find out about what Grant did? Because, Meet Kevin is where I found out about this whole thing with Grant, and it's still. It is the strangest thing. All right, looks like this is another reason that I'm starting to do live videos again. once I'm starting to do recorded videos again because these streams can be really, really kind of crazy because you never know when there's going to be something or um, you never know. Let's see. I don't think it's my internet. No, it's not my internet. It's YouTube. YouTube. It's YouTube. So it is one of the craziest things. But once again, unemployment is going to be massive for the next few weeks because this is why all of these internet personal finance channels, fanboys are talking about put money in the stock market, it's on sale and everything. Uh, they're going to live to regret some of these decisions because the economic basis of how these companies make money is being disrupted. And this is why we're probably going to have 5 or 6 million people unemployed or currently unemployed. And this is going to happen. This is happening right now. We have a bunch of people who are sitting at home and yeah, it was YouTube. It wasn't my internet. My internet's just fine. It was YouTube, and it's very frustrating because I had some really good numbers with that, and then YouTube wanted to act a fool. But the show must go on. But we're going to have massive unemployment. And the longer this goes on, the longer that we have people disregarding the rules and going out and doing what they're doing. Because we may have a mandatory quarantine because as these young people who were partying in Florida showed, we can't depend on people to do the right thing. It's the craziest thing. They're out there partying and dudes like, if I get corona, I get corona. And see, here's the thing. Let's take herpes. There's a lot of people who have herpes and they don't know they have herpes. They never had an outbreak. They never had a situation, but these people can spread herpes and they don't even know they have it. And this is how the coronavirus works. You could be in a situation where you have it, but you don't get really sick and you give it to someone else and then they start getting sick and they can end up and die. That's the big danger. And the danger is that we only have a limited number of ICU beds and ventilators, and our system cannot deal, well, like what happened in Italy. Italy's medical system, frankly, could not deal with the number of people that were coming in there. They couldn't deal with it. And then that's why they had to shut the whole country down because doctors were over there like, are we going to treat this patient or are we going to treat this patient? And they literally had people dying in the hallways who could have been saved. So we don't want to have a repeat of that over here. But we have a lot of these, to his credit, Trump has spun around because someone's like, hey, fool, hey, this is going to be bad. Oh, Trump's back to falsehoods again. The economy is not going to skyrocket because if we were to have a snap our fingers and this was to be solved Monday, we're still looking at 2 to 3 months of carnage from what has already happened. And we're not. This is things going to get worse before it gets better. LVC, that's funny. Crep Junkie, yeah, they put out some revision of the guidelines that young people were dying from this. JB, well, that's funny. Italy is paying a serious price. They had a woman on the other day who lived in Italy, and they've been locked down, and they can only go out to go to the grocery store, and then they have people out there who are checking your credentials, and they're checking your license to make sure you don't stray too far from home. God is no once again, because see here's the thing, and I've watched these other personal finance channels because I have one. I'm in the space, and they're clinging to this hope that we're just going to bounce back. The thing ain't going to be that bad. And I was watching the resale channel, and they didn't really want to talk about it. And it's like, our channel's about positivity. I don't know what has happened to so many Americans that have become such punks that dealing with harsh news is being negative. The reality is people are getting laid off. The reality is people are not have money. And like this guy who has this Airbnb YouTube channel, and he's talking, people are not traveling. People are not flying in airplanes. I almost want to go to Hartsfield and just take my camera and see what it looks like, because I've never seen Hartsfield kind of empty before. Uh, Confirmed cases in my neighborhood went from 30 to 200 in 24 hours. I don't think the logic works. See, that's the big danger, because this thing is so infectious. Rock and roll, the market just opened with a huge drop. Was that in Japan? Dexter Williams, see, all the folks who are saying just let it run its course instead of shutting the states down. You don't understand that essentially what will happen is our medical system would be literally overwhelmed. And then this impacts people who are having heart attacks, people in car accidents. Essentially, the medical facilities would be stretched to the limit if we were to let this go, let it go its course. I mean, I know a lot of people believe in Darwin's theory, the fit make it and the weak perish. But come on, man. Oh, he's lying again. Futures limits down again. All right. Once again, listen to your hustling Godfather. The stock market, what it did the week before, what it did last week, it's going to do next week. It's going to do the week after. It's going to do the week after, and it's going to keep doing the week after. And this is why. And this isn't because I hate the stock market or anything. I'm looking at the economic activity. Disney, because someone that was talking about all these companies like Disney. Disney pays a dividend on its stock, right? Well, 40% of Disney's income comes from its theme parks, which are currently closed. And another chunk of its income comes from movie productions, which are also closed. And they only have $5 billion in the bank. I anticipate Disney suspending their dividend. And once again, all of these, because these YouTube channels that are blowing up are the dividend stock YouTube channels, and I think the financial channels that's going to teach people how to make money in the down market are going to explode, because right now a lot of these guys are delusional. They just like it's like it's a great buying opportunity. It's a great buying opportunity. Ha ha ha. It's a tragic event. It's a crisis that can literally collapse the financial markets. So right now you got a bunch of people who are out here who are like, "Hey, it's a good time to buy stock," and their financial house isn't properly constructed. Like on Savage Finance, I got a video for you people talking about should I invest in silver or gold. Go check that out. Pretty much. I really never give people home. I never give people money. Brolicon, I believe the government's gonna cut a check for $3,000 for families. Yep, I surely do. They have to. Here's the thing, and this is looking at the economic activity. Right now, I fully anticipate unemployment to be 20-25%. And this is why. So many companies are not doing what they need to do. Ford shuttered its plants. Las Vegas, the city of Las Vegas, which gets most of its money from tourism, the whole city shut down. 200, someone put in the comments, 260,000 people out of work in Las Vegas. That's just one city. That's just one city. 260,000 people. Then you go to a city like New York, which is shut down. It gets a lot of its money from tourism, hotel industry, the hospitality industry, airlines, Ubers. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if 200 to 300,000 people in New York weren't working, if not more. So between Las Vegas and New York, that's like half. That's half. Then you go out to Los Angeles. In California, San Francisco shut down. LA, Los Angeles is on lockdown. California by itself is the world's 8th largest economy. So Vegas, New York, California, that could be 1 million plus people out of jobs, just those three places. Just those three places. And literally there are people who've lost their jobs in every state in the country. This is why unemployment is going to be rampant. And this is why, because here's the thing. They have models. They have PhDs. They have economists who run these scenarios of like, okay, what's going to happen? And they predicted doom and gloom for them to be loosening up $3,000 for a family and a $4 trillion stimulus package. Because remember, it was just $1,000 and then it was $1 trillion. They've crunched the numbers and they looked at the models and it's like, look, we're gonna need more money than that. We're gonna need more money than that. And once again, they can't kick you out. They're not going to be able to evict you. The courts are closed. I mean, this is some craziness. This is some craziness stuff. I mean, Paul Brown, yeah, the normal waiting time. Crib Junkie, my Airbnb properties bookings from this Thursday are non-existent. Switch to a long-term rent. The mortgage is so low, won't hurt to rent at a lower price. Been listening to my hustling Godfather. All right. Yeah, because once again, all of these people who were doing Airbnb, and once again, it's such a good model. I actually thought about doing it myself. I'm so glad I didn't because many of these Airbnb properties are going to be on for sale. They're going to be for sale this summer because there's a lot of people who's like, they weren't making like crazy money. Maybe they were making enough to pay the rent or enough to pay the mortgage, maybe an extra 1,000. And after this, when it start costing them money, they're going to rethink that. Wall Street fully automates Monday. So, here's going to be the new program. I'm going to start doing regular videos in the morning and then a live stream in the evening. I figure that's going to be a lot easier, and then the regular video will not be as long as a live stream, so you guys can go ahead and catch that. Because today I've been working, I've been doing videos, I've been concentrating, thinking about what I'm gonna do with this YouTube channel. And once again, right now we are in a crazy, crazy situation. Right now we're in, I mean, the global reset is real. And, I'm not into conspiracy theories. I've heard all kinds of stuff that this was a biological weapon that got loose and all this other stuff. Um, Whether that's true or not, The global reset is here. And I got a video that's going to post at 6 o'clock in the morning. So y'all be sure to check for it. It's going to give you some guidelines because guess what? Everybody's working from home. I think you can't find a laptop. You know, I was in Costco the other day. There were laptops at Costco. I don't know about Best Buy, but once again, everybody, this is going to fundamentally change America. This is the part of the global reset. Because see, there's many companies that were resistant to have people working from home. But once you get some rock stars that's like, hey, this working from home, we don't have to pay all this office space, rent. We're going to do that. This is fundamentally going to change how America operates. The stimulus, man, they got to put this money out. Fit Mom 100. People thought they had money about to get a reality check. Saw many of my neighbors go out and buy new cars. No savings, living on credit. Woo. They are about to get a reality check. Stefan, I've not really noticed that. There are not many there's like one or two homeless people around here and they don't ask for money. Well, the whole thing with Grant Cardone, um, I was thinking that Grant Cardone was paying cash. I didn't know that he was as leveraged as it looks like he used to be. That Ninja E, should we be requiring about refinance loans with a lower interest rate? Possibly if you can get it financed. Because see, every industry is being impacted. Nothing is working like it normally works. Like, people are still buying houses, but the closings and stuff or a trip. Junie, a lot of older people who refuse to give it the time to struggling to work from home. They throw shade at young people for using technology, but they're not asking us for help how that works. Funny how that works. JW Properties, I think the time to buy real estate is when everything goes on clearance. Right now, stuff's going to have to go on sale, but this summer or a little bit after, it's going to be on clearance. All right, Dexter. Uh, I, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. Like, there's all this Bitcoin talk. Once again, Bitcoin has stabilized. It stopped crashing because for a minute it was crashing too. And I really think it is the hope of all of these people who have no money that Bitcoin is going to turn into something. I keep hearing this stuff that Grant Cardone is a Scientologist. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, I never stopped streaming. 25 to 50% unemployment. Yep. At the height of the Great Depression, unemployment was 24.9%. That's the highest it's ever been in America. And this has the potential to create a much larger unemployment rate because of mandatory shutdowns. Because here's the thing, the virus accelerated what was going to happen later. Remember all my recession talk videos? All of these malls, all of these stores closing, Starbucks closing, Subway's closing, Toys R Us closed. That was because the economy at large wasn't good. The stock market economy was blazing, right? But the economy at large, no. William Johnson, that is kind of a big issue because we may be at a point where as someone said, we're gonna have to let it run its course because the shutting down is killing the economy. So it's going to be interesting. No, truck driving jobs. I mean, they're begging for truck drivers right now. Jaws 2003. Thanks for the $5 super chat. How do you think auto sales will suffer? I'm in the market for a gas efficient car. When would be this? I will wait a few weeks. I will wait a few weeks because no one's really buying cars right now. They're stuck at home, can't go anywhere. Pretty Steve, Uncle G. Older people like my 53-year-old uncle afraid to buy and use computer, even though his 15-year-old grandson is on this good. Wow, you got to embrace technology, man. You have to. Dunamis, the stimulus check. I think you had to file taxes, and if your income as a single person is under 75,000, you get the check. And as a married couple, if you're under 150, you get a check. Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. I did not see that episode of London Real. Oh yeah, the streets are empty, man. The dude, where do you get your numbers? Jobs will be repurposed. I don't. All right, the dude. First of all, how can you repurpose when nobody's going to work? Right now, I think half the country ain't working. That's where I get my numbers. I get my numbers from the news. I get my numbers from reading all of these reports. Ford laid off everybody. Vegas shut down. This is hundreds of thousands of people. We only have 150 million people in this country working. Only 150 million. So we get to that level, and I think this is what they're trying to cut off because they've had people run these data models. And this is the reason that they're cutting these checks. Because if they don't cut these checks, it's going to get really, really bad. Well, borders are closing. I think Australia shut down their border and collected mine. The new Jordans dropped and they didn't sell out in 2 minutes. People don't care. I think the mayors across the country, mayors, um, the government, the president, everyone's saying shut down. Junie, yep, automation's going to be rough. Superman, actually, I've had a lot of recent course sales, so you're wrong. Joanne, McDonald's just announced all their stores in the UK to close tomorrow. Wow. Judy, that's funny. The dude, yeah, at some point, but can you tell me when they gonna go back to work and what they gonna do while they ain't working? Tell me that. Because, yeah, we will get past this. We got past the Spanish flu. We got past the Great Depression. Yeah. But when are we going to get past this? Because a lot of people are already looking at this thing's over. We're on the other side. We're still going down. We still going. The house is still burning. So when did all this stuff's going to happen? Tell me when, because you know it's kind of like you were told you were going to take a trip and it's going to take you get an hour to get there. Then the hour's almost up and it's like, well, it's going to take us 3 hours, and then you're like, well, it's going to take us 4 hours. You start getting antsy. You start getting irritated. Now imagine you ain't got no money coming in. Imagine you cooped up in your house because of this virus. Imagine. Yeah, we gonna get past this when. I don't think we're gonna get past this in a few weeks. I don't, or a few months. I think it's gonna be a year or two. You know, LAF. That's funny. I saw a video, a YouTube channel that has 1 million subscribers. All the dude that does is detail cars. It's crazy. Gary Murrell. I just got a job at GM. We were all temporarily laid off to March 30th. Engineer life skills. Yeah, I mean this brick and mortar. I know, Michelle. I was in the grocery store last night, and it's just kind of weird turning the aisle and like the paper toilet, the toilet paper aisle is like spooky. JB, well, they still trying to have church. All right, Rihanna. You know this whole thing. Because once again, like I tell people to prepare for the worst versus hoping for the best because one of these guys who has a personal finance channel, his father, his mother, and his girlfriend all got laid off and they live in Vegas. And he put out one of the realest videos. He actually said, you may want to suspend your contributions to your 401k. He actually said those words. And I was like, ain't nothing like reality to hit someone to make them speak the truth because he's in a situation where he makes like 25,000 a month. So once he gets home he'll be able to help out his family members and girlfriend. But once again, everybody don't have a YouTuber making 25,000 dollars a month that can help out. Everyone don't have one of those kind of guys. So I was watching, this other guy who was like, we're not in the recession. I would like, I started to troll this channel. It's like, we've got over 2 or 3 million, not a million layoffs and unemployment. We're in a recession, dude. They don't want to say that word because everyone is just hoping for the best, hoping the stock market keeps its historic rise. And it just ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I know, Rodrigo. I mean, this is the thing. Benny, I think school's gonna. Yeah, this is gonna be a strange year because for all these guys, all these kids who are gonna be seniors this year, no prom season. It's gonna be crazy. Pretty much. Let's see. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. Make sure we got sound. The coronavirus and economic relief bill being financed by the U.S. Congress will include a one-time $3,000 payment for families and allow the Federal Reserve to leverage up to $4 trillion in liquidity to support the nation's economy. Central Bank helped a broad base of businesses get through the next 90 to 120 days. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans, or 80 million people, were on orders to close up shop and stay home at work as New York, California, Illinois, Connecticut, and New Jersey instituted statewide lockdowns to try to contain the rapid spread of the highly contagious respiratory illness. Mnuchin downplayed the question about a possible recession, calling it a technical question that was not terribly relevant in the current situation, since the government was effectively shutting down large parts of the economy to slow the virus. I mean, they run from that. They're not getting into details of this. I'll have to do some little research on that. But it was $3,000 per family. I don't know if that's going to be single people. I don't know. But if you file your taxes, you should know in a few weeks, because that's how they're going to divvy up this money. They're going to go off the people who file taxes and your income level. So that makes sense. Gary Morrell, you should sit on your tax fund. You should refund. You should put it in the bank. Ralph Sofco. I work in the grocery store. Do we shut down? We're at risk. You're at risk of getting exposed, man. Just facts. Yvonne Diva, I fully expect a national lockdown. Just smells so good. Yep, we talked about Grant Cardone. Ebony Knight, yeah, you can put your money in the money market fund or a bank or a savings account. Gary Morrell, I don't have the answer to that question. Do you think they're going to hold tax money? I would say 30 days to 2,500. $1,000 per adult, 500 per child, and household up to 3,000. That dude, we're definitely in a recession. This was coming anyway. We just expedited it. That's what I was saying. Pretty much, this dude. This was already on the way. Marcus Marcus Diaz, thanks for the $5 super chat. Well, they're going to let you know a week or two from now because states are shutting down. I don't know if they're going to leave it to the state level or go from the national level. Michael A., you better be real careful with trying to sell something like that in this environment. People are very sensitive and people are scared. And there was this girl she actually had the hand sanitizer because she was buying pallets before this even happened. And she tried to sell it and they came for her. And she was trying to sell it for $8 a bottle because she had to ship it. They came for her. So you be very careful with selling disinfectant wipes. I don't think they're going to hold it if you owe the RS money. I don't think that's going to be part of the equation. Yes, you should leave your money in the bank. Like, once again, go over to Savage Finance because I had a lot of people asking me, should they buy gold and silver? And I made a video for that. Check that out. It's up. And tomorrow, there's going to be a video on here for the people working at home and the people who got laid off and give you some guidelines of some things for you to do. Because right now, I think cash is king. If you got cash, like someone asked me, that CarMax was going to give them X amount for their car, and they had $10,000 saved, and it was going to take them another additional 5,000 for them to pay the car off. And that's like, sit on your money. Do not be making expensive, extravagant purchases unless you just got extra cash. I don't know what everyone's pockets look like, but if you got 10, 20, $30,000 saved and you still got bills and car payments, be very judicious with your cash. Be very judicious with your cash because you don't know how long you're going to need to use that. So sit on it and do not be going out and buying gold and silver and Bitcoin. Don't be doing that. I don't know, Junie. I don't. I have no question. I have no answer to that. I don't know how they're going to do that. Trump. Who knows what Trump knows? Agent J. Poole Grant leveraged all of his purchases fully at 20% down each property. He said his goal was to owe so much the next time this happens, the banks wouldn't have a choice but to work it out versus foreclosure. I think Grant's about to find out how valid that theory was. What if you have $45,000 in the bank? D Nice, I would ask you, what are your other? Do you have a car payment? Do you have credit card? Do you have any debt? Because there are a lot of folks who have money in the bank, but they got all these other problems that literally could eat up that money. So, do you have those such situations? 89 Dr. Funk, it should be. Groceries will be in short supply around the world. Food prices will rise until this is unimaginable, like Venezuela. Then they might try to introduce a new one world currency to combat inflation. I, Kristen, I don't really think that's going to happen. I really don't. Exposing the emperor. Thanks for the $10 super chat. I have 9,500 in credit card loan, but otherwise I'm doing good. Should I focus on paying off or save and pay every month? How much money you make and what other bills do you have? Could be eclectic mind. Could be. Pretty much this dude. I mean, once again, this is some crazy stuff that is happening. Oh yeah, cash is king. Like, hold on to your cash, because I am so glad that I did not do this Airbnb property. I was that close to doing it, because I was like, man, if I get 6 or 7 of them, because I was going to be really aggressive. And I'm so glad that some said, you know what, stay in your lane, do what you do. You do YouTube, you make online courses, you do that well, keep doing that, and then look at this stuff a little later. And that's where I came to it. The digital currency thing is just cracking me up, man. It really is. All right, exposing the emperor. Oh, Fahida, I think credit cards will have no choice but to work with you. Because the bad thing and also the good thing is that it's happening to so many people, and it's not like you just like, hey, I ain't paying my credit cards. This is a national global event. So it's like, hey, I think credit card companies, I think banks and mortgages are gonna work. They're gonna work with everybody because, I mean, it just makes no sense to be like, well, we ain't gonna work with you. This is unprecedented. This thing, I think banks are going to work with you. Credit cards are going to work with you. I think car loans are going to work with you. If you find yourself in trouble, you need to call up whoever you have your financing with and explain your situation. And I'm quite sure they're going to work something out with you. Pretty much, JB. Well, China is screwed. It can be a wonderful thing that you can do for your business. let me show y'all something else. Somebody was talking about Disney and all these other companies have money, right? And Disney has lost one third of its value, seeks to raise cash. If they had all this cash in the bank, why are they trying to raise cash? Because they don't have this cash in the bank. Um, Expect stocks to be on sale for a few months. I don't think that because this is one of the things, because I watch a lot of personal finance channels, and they all seem to think that this is just going to be a bounce back and the economy is going. Here's the thing: the economy is not going to get back to normal. This is a global reset. The economy ain't going back to normal. What you're going to see is a rash of automation. You're going to see that many people who were told, oh, you can't work at home. Now you have to work at home. This is fundamentally going to change everything, a lot of things in the way that we do life here in America. It's going to change our preps. Like, look at the stock market. The thing is, the stock market has these triggers when it falls so much that I forget what they call them, alerts or stop gaps, whatever. Whenever something happens, it flips a trigger and the stock market shuts down. And that's to keep it from crashing in one day. And this has been the fastest plunge in the stock market ever. And many people feel that it's just going to bounce back because, once again, there were so many people, because the market would crash. Then people was like, oh, it's on sale. And then the market would rise up because a lot of people were buying stocks. But then it would crash again. Then people would buy. Then it would crash again. And it was just like, why does it keep crashing? Why does it keep crashing? Because the fundamentals are going to kick in sooner or later. There are some companies that are healthy. They have good revenue. They have good diversification. They have good cash flow. And they're being hurt because of what's happening in the market. Those companies would be fine. There are other companies that are on the edge. They're about to go out of business. And you're going to see a lot of that happen during this recession. You're going to see a lot of these companies go out of business. They're going to go out of business. Barry Skywalker, what type of business would you start? I'm starting a media company, man. That's what I do. I see profits. I'm losing money right now. $2,400 a month in retail secondhand mall sales are down. Average $20 a day. Usually do 200. As I see profits, go ahead and talk to your landlord. And the thing is, you want to start, because I'm going to do this on Savage Finance probably this week. That'll probably be Wednesday's video. Mike saying, well, if you're in bankruptcy, you good to go. They're going to work with anybody because it just makes sense for them to work with people. The science of women. They will also look at people who get SS disability and food stamps, because everyone doesn't file taxes. Just giving the checks to people who file taxes will leave out 9 million people. The science of woman. I've never even thought about that. Power to achieve. I've heard that a lot of places are refusing to take cash, because when I went to the grocery store last night, because I spent like $140. I'm gonna tell you something that's funny. I think someone bought my groceries last night, because even before I get my credit card out, the lady was handing me a receipt, and I was like, and they had a little conversation, and I checked my statement. Kroger did not get my money, so someone bought me some groceries last night. But when I went in, there was a guy at the door. He had disinfected. He was wiping down the baskets. And then I went to the groceries, and then the clerk at the checkout, she was spraying down the conveyor belt with disinfectant and wiping it down. I mean, this thing is serious. But yeah, I could see them not taking cash. JB, well, this could lead to wars. Well, see, everyone in the world's blaming China because China failed to contain this. Everyone's blaming China. Beauty, for one, what's a good product to sell online? One that you fully understand and one that you have thoroughly researched and you know the audience and marketplace for that product. Thank you, Black Scorpion. Circuit breakers. I knew what it was. I knew it was had a fancy name. Grant Barnes. Well, their cash flow stopped. Joshua Crunchfield, I vigorously disagree with your assertion. This will not be a fast recovery. Pretty Steve. Well, a lot of strippers are not working. They shut down all the strip clubs. So, what's up, going where? Who knows? Thanks for the $10 super chat, JB. Well, Harvey Weinstein got the cardinal. Junie, I saw a small business owner on Reddit say he can hold out for 8 months without operations if he had to. The responsibles would be fine. This is one of the things I've been preaching. Have a vigorous savings account, have some money stacked up. Because if you're a self-employed person or a business owner, it's just irresponsible not to have a savings account because you never know what can happen. Extraordinary money? No. I run a media company. This is the reason I'm starting all these YouTube channels. I'm not doing Omni and the Hellcat with the IPT services. Greg William, Models? What's that? Mike saying, I don't really know the answer to that. Ethan King, because they know what's about to happen, man. They're trying to get that money. Well, someone did buy my groceries, man. Tracy Stevens, I don't think they know that they did it. It was something weird. The Silver Jewel. Mike saying, if you got a job, keep your job right now. All right. The stimulus checks based on 2018 taxes, not 2019. Exposing the emperor, you think I should pay off my credit card debt first? I think you need to save, sit on your cash, and make your payments. Sit on your cash. I heard someone that said Boyce was putting out some irresponsible stuff. It was real interesting. Bumping the numbers. Hate to say it, but we probably needed this reset button. I mean, global reset is on and popping. Oh, I know money's dirty. As a kid, because money was so dirty. Because I used to cut the lawns for many old people, and they would give me these money that smell like old people or it was dirty. I used to take joy, joy in the yellow bottle, and I used to wash all my money in the sink, and then I would dry it off, and I would press it with an iron because I liked the feel of crisp dollar bills. I was a strange little kid, but You know, Paul Brown, that might be the might be the thing to do. Because, like I said, I mean, I didn't even have my credit card out, and she was handing me a receipt, and I was like, whoa, whoa. And they had a conversation. Creflo Dollar, I ain't messing with him. Hellcat Tony, Boyce keeps telling people to buy stocks. Bad choice. Once again, I've had my disagreements with Boyce, and I don't really watch him, so I don't know what he does. But I heard recently that he put out some more bad advice. Because once again, right now, if you don't put money in the stock market for a month or 2 or 3 months until we get some more data for this, that ain't gonna really hurt you because this stuff is still gonna be cheap. It's still gonna be cheap 3 months from now. It ain't gonna just like, oh, well, like in February, the Dow Jones was 29,000, almost 30,000. Now it is, what is the Dow Jones? It's 19. It's gonna go lower. The Dow Jones could get to 14, where a lot of the guys on these personal finance channels are like, hey, I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna buy. And once again, if you're in the position where you can buy, that's awesome. But if you don't have a savings account, you don't have a year's worth of expenses in the bank, and you got debt, buying stock is the last thing you need to do. That's just ludicrous, as Mike Tyson would say. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous because there's so many things you need to be doing with your money. There's so many things that you need to be up on and things you need to be doing because buying stock that's just not for the win right now. It's not, in my opinion. In my opinion, you need to stack your cash, reduce your expenses, and batten down for the next 2 to 3 months. Because, like, if you, and also, I'll say it, you need to suspend your 401k contribution. You need to bring home as much cash as possible and put it in the bank because we don't know how long this thing is going to last. And if you're one of those unfortunate people who lost your job, you don't have an income. How are you going to invest in the stock market? How are you going to buy silver? How are you going to buy gold with no income? That's crazy. I mean, it is tragic where people are. It's really tragic. Now, I'm going to tell you, for people who want to buy gold, this is one of the best places to buy, especially right now. If you want to buy gold, go on eBay. A lot of these guys have this stuff for auctions. Sometimes you can steal it. But this is one of the best places to buy gold and silver. Once again, go to Savage Finance, watch my video. eBay, one of the best places. I sold a lot of gold on eBay. I sold a few Morgan silver dollars. Let's see what Morgan silver dollars are going for. This is the best place to buy gold. So this is where you can get gold for a good price. Another place you can buy gold and silver is pawn shops because they're going to check it. They're not, they're going to make sure it's real. So this is where you can get silver. And this is where you can get gold coins. Let's see. All Why is it taking so long to bring that up? All right. I think they stopped making Cougarans. So that's where you can get gold and silver for a good price. There in pawn shops. Other places that you can go ahead and get gold and silver. And Middley Watley, if you know what you're doing, go ahead and invest in Forex. If you know what you're doing. Erica Williams, folks are learning what real skills and trades are. So many folks argue with me about skills and trades, but we see who and how, what are essential careers. Oh, once again, during this global reset, this is what people need to be doing. If you are at home every day, you need to be at YouTube University, Udemy, Skillshare, Hustlers, Kung Fu, Life Skills. You need to be in someone's classroom. Don't be sitting there like, oh, I'm freaking out. They ain't the ticket. Yeah, the Dow's down by 30%. It's going to drop more. Yes, at some point, houses are going to go down. Just smells so good, you should advertise more. You can't make passive income. I'm going to do a special video for that on Savage Finance. Gray Ribbons riding through NYC today. I saw a lot of rent signs on storefronts. Hey, that dude, the knife is still falling on the stock market. I think the market will hit about 1450 or less. Pretty much. All right, Hellcat Tony. Thomas down. Uncle G, I made between 7 and 9K a month, 13K debt. You should stack for a few months. Because here's the thing. If you have debt and you run into a situation, and let's say you got $25,000 in the bank and you lose your job. First thing you would do is get on the phone and start calling all your credit card companies, everyone you owe money, and start working deals because everybody's going to be working deals. They may take half, they may cut the interest, they may forgive some payments. So once again, I'm going to do some special videos on Savage Finance this week about that. So once again, all right. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning. Video's going to pop 6 a.m. It's already done. And once again, the YouTube course is ready. Well, it was going to be updated tomorrow. And then there is the critical mindset course, the links below for those of you who want to develop an outrageously strong mindset to deal with uncertain terms. So with that, I will see you guys later.